What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Five Cents Podcast. Today, I'm gonna be your host, and if for those who don't know who this is Nico. But I'm gonna go ahead and start off by introducing everybody else on the cast. So, Zay, we got Zay up there in the top left corner.
What up, everybody?
Mm-hmm. We got Jackson in the bottom left.
Is it hanging?
We got my boy Josh,
What's good? What's good?
and we got my boy Nate.
Yes, sir. What's up, y'all?
So, we know it's been a little minute since we've provided you all with some very juicy podcast, content. But it's the summer. People get busy. It's been what I believe this is going on 3 weeks, right? We've all just been. It's like just constant.
3 or 4.
It's been life, man. Life's been going crazy, bro.
Hey, man, life is amazing. It is what it should be. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all know how it goes.
In this game, I feel like a rookie. But let me stop. Let me see. Let me chill.
Who are you, bro?
But nah, y'all know how it goes. But look, we're back, and so today it's probably gonna be a lighter episode. But the first question I want to ask the guys is: so lately, I feel like I've just been noticing like a lot of new like inspiration and just thinking about things that really impacted my life lately. And so what I'm gonna ask you guys is, knowing what you all know now, what would you tell your younger self? And I know we have like a lot of growing to do still, but I feel like 22, 21 years of life is a lot, to learn. So what would you guys tell your older selves?
How young are we going?
How young are we?
I mean, I don't know, like middle school, like,
All right.
like
Seventh grade.
the important years, like middle school, high school type shit,
Yeah, I got you. I'll start off. It's gonna be a little bit more goofy, but I would have forced myself to make my parents buy me better shoes and better clothes. They were doing me wrong.
You can't start off like that.
Yo,
Bro, that's not even advice. That's not even advice.
That's just a wish.
You're just
bro.
mad. You're just mad that you came to school looking
Bro,
musty. That's
Josh
all
is
you.
just mad that he was rusty in middle school, bro. That's the only problem that arose from there.
What?
Bro.
He said, "What
Josh-
would you tell yourself?"
Josh,
bro?
like,
You
well, I
said
already-
you'd make your parents buy you better shoes and clothes.
Hey, you
bro.
better tell your parents,
Hell
bro.
no.
Josh was like, well,
no, yeah. Listen.
Josh was like, hey.
Reeboks, holding a grudge, bro.
Reeboks. I had the
Hey,
Reeboks,
Zig Tex,
the
baby.
and
Zig
ones,
Tex,
bruh.
baby.
The Shacks, bro. I went through it, bro.
Ziggy's
I
were
was hitting,
fire though.
bro. I was hitting the Payless like it was a Jordan store, bro. It was.
Bro.
Hey, you found you some nice Vans in there,
He
bro.
said, "I'm finna pop so."
Hey, bro. Ain't nothing wrong with some Reeboks, man.
No.
Ain't nothing wrong with some Reeboks,
But
bro.
that was just for jokes, get everybody's attention. But in all seriousness, I'd say probably be more true to myself. I think in middle school, I was trying to do too much to like be cool with everyone, if that makes sense, instead of just being me, and that gets you like spread out a lot, and like that kind of like trait can like carry on in life. So I would have just told myself to be me. I know middle school, super nerdy, still super into sports. Just to, like focus like on who I am, and like the people that I want to attract will like come around. I mean, as you can see, that's happened in college. It's been great. I'm thankful for my friends that I made here, friends that I made in high school. So just tell myself to be true to myself, because like we always get blinded by like the outside world and like all the things that they tell us to be. But honestly, do you. But unless you're weird, don't do that. don't do
There's weird to an extent. Weird to an
Nah,
extent.
yeah. It's okay to be weird, but like, nah, some
But
of
see,
you
that's
out
the
here,
question,
no
though.
names.
If you're weird in high school or like middle school and high school, are you really weird though? Because I know a lot of people who are weird in middle school and high school end up being like top cream of the crop whenever they get out, because everyone actually
Nah,
knows who they
yeah,
are, you know what I mean?
but I guess weird is also decided by society standards, which is weird. But like, I do think that there's just like a weird that we all just sit back and agree, and we're like, no. If you fall
Yeah,
into that
yeah.
category, check
We
yourself.
all know the
Yeah.
limits. We know the limits.
But nah, that's all I got.
Stay true to yourself.
You're gonna be weird. Do it on your own time. Not in school, please.
Yeah.
Nah, I'll jump in next right after that. if I was talking to my younger self, well, my younger self had a honestly, it's not too different than right now. My hair's too long, but a straight bowl cut right across the brow, all the way down through the back, and I was the well actually kid to everyone. It did not matter who you were. If you had a position of authority and you made a grammatical slip around me, I was on your case instantly. And so believe it or not, people thought I was a narc for a little while. And I guess the advice that I would give myself is like, chill out, take life a little less seriously, because I was very much caught up in the notion that perfection is like a daily drive that you need to hold others to rather than something to pursue for yourself. So I was more obsessed on how people saw me and how I influenced other people than on the impact I had on my own life. So I would probably just go back and be like, hey, bro, tone that down a little bit because no one likes you right now. Like, let's chill out for a minute.
Wow, that's some solid facts right there.
It's real.
Mm-hmm.
It's real. Very real.
Well,
Yeah, I guess I'll hop in next.
I bet.
All right, unless you want to go, I'll sit back in my
Go ahead,
chair.
bro.
I was cooling.
Dude, I
Go
was
crazy.
All right, look. Yeah, I was cooling. If I had to tell myself one thing, it would be to never disregard the red flags. And that goes for a lot of things because throughout that stage, middle school, high school, I knew like a lot of things happened and a lot of bad things happened, but it could have been prevented because before it went sour, I would always see the red flags up until that point. So like I would notice something was off. I'd be like, maybe I really shouldn't be doing that. What if this happens? I don't think I should be here. And I would never go with my gut. I would never go with my gut, and I would always go with what I could see. Um, you know, I wouldn't trust myself. I would just, okay, maybe I'm tripping. Let me just, do it anyway. And then I'd end up in a very bad predicament. But beforehand, I knew that it was a bad idea. So I would just tell myself to, it's not always about like what you see. Sometimes, and this isn't for everything, but sometimes what you feel is the right way. And it might suck, but like some things aren't good for you. And later down the line, the decisions you made, whether it was, skipping or whatever I was doing, just leaving school, not coming home or whatever, it was just like maybe I knew I shouldn't have been doing it and I got into a lot of stuff that I shouldn't have. And I knew that I was going to get into it if I kept doing it, but I kept ignoring it because I didn't see it happening. So I thought it wouldn't. So, I mean, I guess I tell myself really to just like, quit being so stubborn and don't ignore, your gut feelings and the red flags that you see and acknowledge them and process it and then make your decision. Don't just overlook it because it seems like it'll be a little bit of trouble at the moment.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Live,
That's
yeah.
facts.
Live by the gut, die by the gut.
Oh hell.
Yeah, I don't know why he thought that he actually did this. You're not in poetry, my guy. Chill out. Chill out.
Die by the gut. How do you die by
That
the
sounds
gut?
like a very direct threat.
Bro, that sounds like he got like one of them
just falls from the sky and squishes you, bro.
Kid Boo just.
Nah, I was thinking one of them samurai short swords that they commit like the little
Oh,
thing
no,
and they stab
Seppuku.
no
themselves.
way.
Yeah.
No way.
But it's all
Seppuku.
Oh yeah. It's alright, I've not lived up to my final potential, and then
You always do that voice, bro, when you talk in some anime character. you corny your voice up like 30%.
That's how they be sounding though.
I
What
can
you
go
got,
next.
Nate?
I can go next. Next, unless Nate, you want to go.
I mean, it's up to you, bro. I got mine if I'm ready. If you're ready. If you're not ready yet.
You got it then, bro.
I bet. So, just a little background, as I'm sure the guys in the call know, I came from a very strict household to where you were kind of stressed about everything going on all the time. Like, my mom's was a sub, so even if I did some bullshit in class, like, she would know immediately. and stuff like that. And kind of as I got older, I kind of had to change the way I like, portrayed myself in my life because I was always scared of how, people around me were gonna see me, whether it was, females or, my parents or like the teachers and stuff like that. So kind of to summarize what everybody said, the best advice I probably could give myself as a child in like middle school and high school, which is to not give a fuck, to be honest with you. Because like the quicker that you realize that the stuff that you're going through right now is temporary and that it's not really gonna matter as much once you get to, your 20s and get past that kind of middle school, high school phase, the quicker you'll be able to enjoy your life and actually, meet those people and take those actions that will actually help you grow rather than having to wait till, you get out of those situations to actually be able to figure out who you really are. So, for me, the best advice I probably give myself that I kind of try to live by now is just to like not really care about kind of the perspective that other people have on me, but to rather just if I have something, I see it and I want to do it, I pursue it and just do it to the best of my ability and not really care about what, my parents are going to think, what my friends are going to think, whoever I'm trying to impress is going to think. Because worst comes to worst, at the end of the day, the people who are going to fuck with you are going to fuck with you. The people who don't, they're not worth your time. You understand? And that'll make you a lot better in the long run because you get the right type of people around you. You end up having those same experiences that you think you missed out on when you're in, that middle school, high school age. And then you'll end up being able to grow even more when you're in college and even like in that 20s age because you actually had those experiences. So that's probably the best advice I can give to myself as a young Nate growing up in the world. You know what I'm saying?
Young King, Young King,
Larva Nate, bro.
Man.
Prince Nate. Man, that's actually pretty dope, bro. Like mine kind of aligns with that one, and it's just for me. If I'm to go back and tell myself something, it would be don't hold yourself back. And pretty much, so like I've always been one to like shy away from conflict or like if something makes me feel a type of way, I'll just keep feeling a type of way to prevent what I'm saying an issue or like if someone else is happy but I'm not, I'll make sure they're staying happy type shit. But really, it's like it puts me in a lot of situations where like I'm generally not happy, and I'm like complaining and stuff, but really it's my fault, because I didn't speak up. And then not only with like just the emotional aspect, but just life in general. There's like so many things where I'll tell myself like, nah, I'm not that good. I can't do it. Or like just doubting myself in a lot of areas where I probably will be successful. And I kind of like I've kind of been taking this lesson like to heart recently, and things have been going very well. But just telling my younger self that just get that head start on it, I feel like would be pretty A1. So
Yeah.
that's what I got.
Hey man, that's that like acknowledgement and realization that like when you're uncomfortable that sometimes you put yourself in those situations and it's just it's part of the deal. You got to learn not to do that or try not to. That is a huge realization. I feel like a lot of people skip over that one and blame the situation rather than blame how they got there.
Mm-hmm.
And just even acknowledging the fact like yeah, this one's on me. Yeah, I can't really say too much. I should have spoken up. That is like that alone, I think, is a perspective that many people just don't consider very often.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's just the way that people should look at it more often because it's like I feel like it would just prevent a lot of issues in the long run. Just being true to yourself type shit. So
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, because I see that problem a lot. Because for some reason, people like to tell me stuff. So, like, I'll be listening to what they're saying, and then I'll just be thinking to myself, but wait, if you would have just, you know, said no in the first place, you wouldn't even have to be doing any of this.
Mm-hmm.
But then what most people will default to is, I didn't want to hurt their feelings. I didn't want to be mean. But then it's like, what about the inconvenience it's causing to you? What about how it makes you feel? Because now it's okay to help people and it's good to help people when you can and when you're able to and if it's in your heart. But if you're forcing yourself to help somebody, that's not good for either of you because you're not going to like doing it because you didn't even want to do it for this person. And people are more receptive than you think. So they probably know that like you don't even want to be doing this for them and it could cause tension or friction or whatever. And it's like, well, If you can, then you can. If you can't, then you can't. And it's not just for favors. It's just like in general. Like, if you need to make a decision and someone's trying to like, um, insert their opinion on it and try to sway you, even though you know that maybe it'll separate you from this person or distance you or whatever, it's like, well, at the end of the day, when you get that letter in the mail, you know what I'm saying, and the bill's got your name on it, are they paying it or are you? So if you need to do whatever it is that you have to do, sorry if it makes someone else feel uncomfortable, but you know, I'll do my best to not inconvenience any further, but I'm still gonna do it. Like, so it's always a good self realization to like notice, like you were saying, when you can pinpoint, dang, I put myself in this situation. Because what a lot of people don't realize is they'll blame it on luck. They'll blame it on everything. But they forget to realize that the common denominator in all of those situations that they're going through is them. Yeah, you're having problems, but you know, it's you. So you gotta fix yourself
Yeah.
and fix yourself and fix the problem. That way the problem won't happen to you again because you fixed yourself.
Yeah, I think it's also important to like that people realize, if you have a series of bad situations, a lot of let's say it wasn't you. Let's say it was just awful luck, because that does happen. The just like you said, Zay, the common denominator still is you have to find a way out. You have to do something. There is no like passive inaction that you can take that will result in changing this, at least unless someone does it on your behalf. So if it is your fault, great, fix it. If it's not your fault, also great, fix it. And I feel like that's a big roadblock as well, finding like the the motivation to fix a problem you didn't necessarily cause. Like, yeah, it sucks, it's not on you, like you didn't bring this on yourself, but it's still a problem. You still have to find a way to solve this, and it's not going to be any different whether or not it was your fault. So rather than like, yeah, it's the compressive feeling that just happens. It's part of it. But when you feel that like weight of the world on your shoulders, it doesn't get lighter unless you find a way to take some of it off. You got to find a way to push forward. You have to find a way to wake up and see the sun tomorrow morning and be like, all right, here we go, back at it again. And even if you chip away at it for months or weeks or years or however long your time frame is, I feel like that is like what you said. It's just the realization you have to make. Like, yeah, I did this or I didn't do this, and that's just the way life works. And here we go. Time to fix it.
Yeah. And
I think
everything's
that
not your fault.
Yeah.
Oh, oh, all
no,
right. I
I
just
was
had
just gonna
it's
no,
like,
no, you're good. I was just gonna add, and I think that's one of the things that happens in our society today. I feel like we've been pushed that if it's your problem, then handle it. If it's somebody else's problem,
They
then
handle it.
that's just them. And like we've created this stigma that anything that doesn't like, I guess like in like the front part have our name on it, dismiss it. And like it could be as simple, I guess, as like let's say washing dishes, for example. Okay, I ate, put my plate in the sink, washed it, and I left every single other plate inside the sink. Bro, my mom would slap the goofy out of me. Like you just don't do that. Like if you have the ability to take care of something, just go ahead and take care of it, because even if it doesn't impact you directly now, you never know when it can impact you, and you're going to be saying, man, I wish I did this when I was supposed to do it, instead of now I'm stuck in a situation I don't want to be stuck in. So always keep that in mind, that like if you can handle something, handle it now. Even don't procrastinate, because we all love to procrastinate. Handle it now. I cannot count how many times that I would just sit here and choose not to do something, and I would just be suffering, whether it's no sleep, whether it's sacrificing something I don't want to sacrifice, because I chose to just push it off. Just do it now. Handle it now. Even if it's not your fault, even if it's not your problem, handle it now, and you will even feel better, because that's, like Jackson said, that weight off your shoulders. You know it's done. The job is finished. You're good. So now we definitely need to work on moving towards this just as like people and like kind of like get out of this like mindset that man, I just got to focus on myself and that's it. Like definitely focus on yourself, get right, you do you, but remember that it's not just you.
Mm-hmm.
It's also everyone else.
Yeah. Yeah. Focus on yourself does not mean that you are the only person in the world. Okay, there's a
Agreed.
difference. And I know that
Preach.
he's saying focus on yourself, but it doesn't mean be completely selfish. All right. So look, focus on yourself. In my eyes, I believe that that means you take the time to sit down and do what everybody hates to do. You sit down in front of the mirror and you got to have that conversation with yourself. All right. Now, I'm not going to go into any more details, but everybody at one point in their life or multiple points in their life have to have that conversation with themselves. And you know what that conversation is like. It hurts and it's not pretty, but you have to acknowledge it. And that includes issues, flaws, toxicity, things that need to be done, things that need to be cut out, things that need to be added, etc., etc., whatever is healthy for you. But what that doesn't mean is that like he was saying, let's go back to the dishes. What that doesn't mean is that you get your food and you eat because you're working on yourself and you ate, so you put your dish in the sink and only wash your dish. That's not what that means. It means that, like, yeah, sure, if you want to be technical, the other dishes aren't yours, but you're putting all of your dishes in the same sink, and it's like it could be random. Either you would have to wash all the dishes, or somebody else would. All right. Now, it's like people will look at the dishes and be like, man, those aren't my dishes. And they'll leave it. And then later on down the line, they're mad because they got pests in their house, because they got mold and old food in their sink. And everybody has that same mentality of, oh, well, they're not my dishes. So, now you just got a stinky pile of dishes. Sometimes you got to take one for the team, even if you don't want to, whether you know them or not. Sometimes it would be better if you would just suck it up, just get it done, and keep it pushing. Because the negativity that'll come from the bad that's about to happen of this festering issue that you're leaving is not worth it. You know, just clean it while it's a small stain before you got to deal with black mold type shit. Like,
Agreed. Big
Look,
facts.
just get it done, regardless of how many people contributed to that stain. If the stain is somewhere you can see it and it's in your area,
Deal with
get
it.
it. All right.
Yeah.
And that stain, it could be issues, it could be problems, it could be, needed confrontations, and not talking about physical ones, but, when like someone did something, it made you feel some type of way, and you want to say something, but you don't want any of that, awkward beef or anything. You just want to address it. Sorry, but you can't just sit on that, because then it'll just only end up being a bigger issue on you. So like you can still be giving and also work on yourself. You can
Mm.
still be um I think, what's the word here? What would be the word? While you're working on yourself and doing what you need to do, all right, it doesn't mean ignore everybody else. I couldn't
Agreed.
think of the word, but that's basically what that means. It doesn't mean that ignore everybody else and leave everybody else with their issues, because guess what? This is the most, this is probably the realest statement that has actually come true in my life a lot. My parents always told me that no matter whether you like someone or not, if they ask for help, help them, because you never know who you might need help from or who can help you out in the future.
Mm.
And honestly, some people who I honestly just don't like and don't fuck with, but I helped them out when they needed it, have actually come in clutch later down the line. And so just remember that, Just gonna pass that on.
Yeah, I wanted to jump in real quick as well because I loved what you said about working on yourself, and I just wanted to have a quick word. I feel like people take the concept of working on yourself, just like you said, they tunnel vision it, and it becomes a self-infatuation to an extent where working on yourself only like correlates if you are focusing wholly on yourself. And people take that into mental health, physical health, whatever you want to call it, workplace environment, things like that. But I feel like if you're so entirely focused on working on yourself, you will burn the bridges around you. And when you burn the bridges around you, you will see how quickly or how much you needed other people and how like lonely life is on your own. I mean, could you imagine like not interacting with people every day? Like that would suck. That'd be awful. But I feel like even just stepping into that mindset, you're doing it little by little. You're making the world a more lonely place. And there may be less dishes in the sink if there are no friends around, if there are no people to deal with, right? But now every mess is yours. Now you can't ask for help. No one wants to drive to your apartment to clean your dishes if it's just your house. If you have no one in your life and there's a mess, it's all on you. And there could be days where none of us can handle a mess. Everyone has rough days. So now you've got a stinking, festering, awful spot, and it's all you. And you have no one to call to help you out. And that's a miserable spot to be. So rather than focus on yourself so much that you forget everyone, just like you said, Zay, you can still provide. Focusing on yourself is to make yourself stronger so that you can do more and that you are more available and that you are a better person to and for your friends. So I'm 100% with you there. I think that's a great point.
Yeah. Yep.
Real. That's real stuff. I agree 100%. You gotta be able to distinguish between the two,
Yeah, because I mean, everyone has people that they like, that they love. So like, if you just do that nonsense where you just focus only on yourself and you do things that just drive people away from you and you just don't care because you're so focused on yourself, here's what's gonna happen. You're gonna come out that cocoon and yeah, you're gonna be a butterfly, but then you're gonna look around for the people that were there beforehand and you're just gonna be by yourself. And that's not good for anybody. So take time for yourself, but don't forget the people who are there for you as well, because they're important and they exist. And they
Mm.
do matter in your life. They do matter.
Yeah. I don't know. I have this philosophy, and I feel like you meet people for a reason. And like everybody is in your life, is put in your life at a certain point for a specific reason. Now I don't know what that reason is, but I just feel like that's something that happens. Like you meet people when you meet them, and it's up to you to maintain them. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's good or bad. Like actually, me and Zay had a conversation like the other day. And we're just going through like there's so many people like in our lives that help shape us to be who we are now, and it's just like it's just you can't help but be thankful for it because it's like how many people get the opportunity to meet these good people in a world full of so many bad. So it's just like I don't know, just try to cherish those people and don't like run them off when you're focusing on you because you never know what impact they could have on you in the long run. So
Yeah, that's facts.
deep.
I've
Same.
I've heard some horror stories about like groups of friends and then why they're not friends no more. And I just
I got some
it
funny ones.
it blows my mind. I'm like, dude, my friends would never even think, like it would just never, like if there was friction, if there was ever friction in our group, it's like we would address it immediately. There's no time for it to sit and then time for someone to do something petty. It's like, hey bro, we gotta talk. And then you do what adults do, you talk it out, apologies if necessary, ramifications if necessary, steps so it won't happen again, remedy, and then we move on. Like other people, they really hold grudges and then they'll end up doing some super petty stuff. And then it's like, wow, why didn't they just sit down and have a conversation about it? Like, why is that such a foreign idea? Like, people are so quick to just, oh man, that was bad. I ain't like that. I ain't like the way that made me feel. Fuck them. And then that's it. And it's like, damn, like I understand that they did something bad. They did something wrong to you. And I'm not talking about everything. This is just like in a general sense, because even to me, there's certain things that you can do and you're dead. You're dead to me. All right. Now everybody has those buttons, but I mean like just in a general sense, like if someone makes a joke, for example, and it kind of, it kind of gets to you and you're actually feeling some type of way about it. Like if that was any one of us, we'd be like, "Hey, bro, you got to chill out." Be like, "Nah," and that would be the end of it. Hey, my bad. I ain't mean to. It's done. Other people will they'll say that joke, and then the person will feel some type of way, and the next thing you know, they're beefing because so and so found out that so and so was talking shit about them behind their back because they felt some type of way about that joke, and then now they're finna throw hands and shit, and I'm like, wow. But why didn't you just say something? Why didn't you just speak up when you felt that type of way? But nah, you just sat back and festered on it, and then did some stupid shit. For what? You only live once. You got one life. If something makes you uncomfortable, speak up.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, it could make it a little awkward. It can make people uncomfortable. But at the end of the day, your mental well being is very important. Your emotional well being is very important. And compromises, I'm sure, amongst normal people can always be reached through a conversation. Whether that compromise is don't speak my name, I won't speak yours, and we're good. That could be the compromise. That's still a solution, but I mean that's just me. I'm always willing to be open. I'm always open to people. If they have an issue with me or something I say, feel free. If it bothered you, offended you, made you feel some type of way, made you angry, sad, say something. Speak up. Let me know, because if you don't say anything, then what you're doing is you're letting that other person know that that's okay. You're letting them know that it's okay and you're fine with it.
Yeah.
You
Until they
know.
find out you did something sneaky, and then it
Yep.
becomes an issue.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, you say
And
what? What you say?
Exactly.
and my thing on all
Yeah.
this, man, is why are niggas always ready to throw hands? I have
Dude,
always wondered about
And
this.
it's like, bro, you don't fight.
I
Like,
mean, but look.
Dude, like, real quick, let me go. I think that
yo, Josh, come on.
it's always crazy to me because, like, for example, like involving grudges, right? Grudges, like I've seen grudges held that mess up relationships, friendships, and the grudge should have just been dropped. Like the situation that you're holding a grudge for doesn't even make sense for you to hold that grudge. And then when you want to break it, or when you realize that it's too late, you messed it up, you fucked it up, and now it's your fault, and you can't do anything to fix it because it's too far gone.
Yeah.
Now,
Mhm.
people like start, I guess people confuse the difference between like forgiving and forgetting, I guess. I know y'all have heard that a lot.
Mhm.
So like you can forgive somebody. That doesn't mean you have to mess with them. Zay said that perfectly. Be like,
Mhm.
hey bro, I'm not gonna talk to you, you're not gonna talk to me. But if something happens, it happens and we'll work through it. That's cool. But you were able to move past the situation. You were able to accept the fact that what happened happened, and you're moving forward with your life. Why are you staying in the past? It's a new day. You're on to better things, trying to do better things. Why are you stuck? Because when you get stuck, you stick other people and then you all get stuck.
I've
Don't
got a,
do that.
Yep.
I've got a hypothesis on this
Go ahead, bro.
exact issue. It's very quick, and I want
Wait,
you.
wait,
I
wait,
want to give
wait.
Nate a go.
On why people are so quick to throw hands?
It was pretty much all of what Josh said, more or less.
Okay, okay, okay.
Just real quick. And I think, and this is genuinely a thing, I think people have started becoming comfortable with the idea of genuine toxicity. Not in this is they want to label themselves as toxic, but I feel like people have gotten comfortable with this notion of like, oh, well, it makes life exciting. Like this is how you like I want to be. I want to have something to do. And I know that sounds wild, but I'm framing it in a wild way because a lot of times I don't hear, oh, I just like being toxic. I hear things like, no, I'm just doing me, and that person needs to just do them. I don't mess with them anymore. It's on sight if I see them because I just do not like them. And you ask why, Josh, like you said, it'd be like, they took my ice cream sandwich. And you're like, what? Like, that's it? Like,
Yeah,
that's all?
bro, do this
And then
little
It's
stuff.
dude, I swear.
people treat themselves like slighting them is a federal crime, or like you're going against the king or queen of a country, because I feel like the perception is often in their minds that they are the protagonist of their life, which is a fine way to think, so long as you don't think of every slight as a training arc or as an antagonist or as someone you got to beat. I know we love anime, man, but this is, it's not like that. Not everyone is a demon to you. If someone stands in your way on the road, maybe they want to ask you a question. You don't have to pull the sword out. Like that's, it's not like that. And I just feel like this mindset of taking toxicity for, or like you uh, stammered, of mixing up toxicity with self-importance. Like if enough people are against you, it means you're on to something. Or if people like hate on your name, it's because you're right. It's like it may not be that way. You may just be being completely impossible to deal with. Because yes, people who are very popular and successful often have a lot of haters. But I hate to break it to you, if you've got a pretty average,
You're not
following,
one of them.
you're not someone with a huge social presence and you have a lot of haters, you're just a douche. Like it's there's a difference. Like if
You're
a
not
lot
that
of
guy.
people consistently dislike
You're
you,
not that guy, pal.
maybe it's not them. Maybe if a wide variety of people go, man, I cannot stand this person. Maybe that's you, dog. Like maybe next time he takes your ice cream sandwich, just be like, hey, bro, go buy me another. What are you doing? Instead of like, nah, all your friends don't ever want to talk to you again, and I'm gonna slander you on social media, like that kind of thing. Like, come on, dog.
And on
I,
top of that, but real quick, and on top of that, it is so funny to me how people just get into that mindset where they think that because the whole world is against them,
They just
it's
hating on
the
me.
whole world that's in the wrong. You want to sit here and tell me billions of people are in the wrong? If you don't shut the fuck, like, come on, bro.
You
Like, you cannot make this up. People literally are trying to
Heck,
disagree with
dog.
thousands of people instead of just reflecting and looking at themselves. Like, how is it so hard for you, like Zay said, to just sit in that mirror, reflect? Bro, that can be you solo drive, listening to some lo-fi music,
Yeah.
just
Mhm.
yeah.
thinking. That could be you in your bed, laying down, thinking. Just it could be a wide variety of things. That could be you jump roping for 10 minutes, and that 10 minutes you're jump roping and you're just thinking about life. It doesn't
Man,
matter. People go on runs, people
all these
play
people on me.
activities. So there is an activity for you that is unique and works for you specifically that you could do to relax, sit back and think and analyze your life. So do it. Please, please do it. Please do it. Like I don't understand why you can't do it and why you won't do it.
It
So
will
just
Well,
do it.
it will
I know
forever
why
conf.
some
Oh,
people don't do it.
go ahead, Zay. I got you.
No, you're good. You're good.
I
I'll
was
wait
gonna
till
say,
you're done.
quick. It's literally 2 sentences. It will always confound me how difficult it is for some people to just say, "My bad, my fault." It is
Just
like
Bro,
you see somebody get mega ratioed on TikTok and they're like, "Nah, you wrong." It's like, bro, look at that like button. There are like 6,000 people against you right now, and you got 20 on your side. Just go, my fault. Like, just take
yeah,
them up.
like
Don't take the
I
fight.
was literally about to touch on that because Josh was like, I don't know why some people don't. Well, I do. I do. I do know why some people don't. And it's because they'll never believe that they're wrong. There are some people who will genuinely go into a situation with someone else. They will entirely fuck it all up. And then they will blame it on the other person. There are a lot of narcissists that exist today because they will go and they will tear something up, they'll do something wrong, and then they'll find anybody. Literally anybody. They will go into a store and they will rob it. And then when they get arrested, they'll be like, well, why was that guy outside wearing Jordans? He made me want some Jordans, but I don't have money for no Jordans, so I robbed the store. It's his fault. He made me rob the store. And it's like, are you serious? So you're saying that your motivation to do this was because of somebody else and it's their fault? Why can't you just accept that, you did something dumb, own up to it, and make those necessary adjustments so it doesn't happen again? What's my question is, well, not even my question. If I could ask like a lot of people around the world one question, it would be, why is it so hard to say sorry or I was wrong? Why are those like, why? Because I've personally been in situations that could have been solved with an I'm sorry, or I was wrong. I wasn't I didn't think about it from that perspective, or I didn't see that, because some people will just make honest mistakes. And they'll think it's one thing because they didn't see all the other details, because they saw the one thing and got pissed. It happens. But it's like they will, rather than going back and owning up to the fact that even though they kind of, had you can kind of understand why they were pissed when they just off the rip reacted, it was still wrong though. People would rather let it sit and just not say sorry or not apologize or not say that they was wrong, and then like just let it turn into something else when it could have just been like a damn, you know, yep, yep,
No,
that's me. That's me. Yep,
Yes.
that was
You know what
me.
sentence drives me up a wall, Zay? Drives me up a
What?
wall. You're not wrong, but neither am I. When I hear that sentence, I'm like, so we're in disagreement, and you acknowledge that I'm correct, but you can't see that if I'm correct, you can't be, because we are currently not on the same
dude, I
page.
got it. First off,
Yes.
Jackson, you are hilarious because I know who you're talking about. Dude, you are ridiculous. I hope they watch this and come for your livelihood because you're funny.
So I'm right.
No, you are, but I think that it's honestly a sense of like morality. I think that people like get so in tune with themselves that even when they're wrong, they want to stand their ground. Like, why are you standing your ground when you're wrong? Like, there's nothing
Pride
to
and
stand
embarrassment,
on.
man.
And
There's
a wise
nothing.
man
There's
once said,
nothing
bro,
for you.
pride
Oh,
is the
hey,
devil.
Pride, pride,
Pride
and
will hold
embarrassment.
a
They
man from
rather
changing
than
at
have
all
their
in life,
pride
bro.
be shattered, rather than having their pride be shattered. And look, it might even be something that's not even a big deal to most people, but to some people, once, like you said, once they get in tune with themselves and they get on that pride channel, and they would rather go down with pride and be embarrassed instead of owning up and moving forward, they'd rather go down with their pride, because in their mind that's a victory. Them standing their ground even though they were dead wrong, that's a victory to them.
nah,
They're
bro,
like,
you
well,
feel like
I
a
don't care.
goof.
I don't care.
Uh,
I did what I did. They're like, I don't care. I don't care. I did what I did. I don't care. I did it.
Nowadays, people are
And no
more
one can
willing
stop
to
me.
like
Yeah, that goes
stand
right
into
back to
their
that toxicity
ignorance
thing.
than make a mistake and be able to accept that they made a mistake. But they rather just be ignorant and think that they're right. And that's the problem with 90%.
You know what it is? What the world needs? Humility.
Yes.
They do need Thanos because Thanos wasn't playing no
I was
games.
like, Nico's is completely different. Yeah, Nico's onto something. What this world needs is everyone who thinks like that needs to step in a ring with Thanos and get folded, and then they can come out and be like, yeah, my bad.
They're not gonna get folded, bro. They gonna get eviscerated.
And for example, no, even though he was joking about Thanos, Thanos is a great example because Thanos, no matter how, no, look, I'm going somewhere with this before you just freaking.
I might
Thanos is
have
a
to cut
great
this
example.
out.
I'm so sick of everybody on this planet. I'm about to
No,
cut the population in half, bro.
no. I think Thanos, from his own twisted view of justice, viewed the problems inside of their universe, their society, and was like, hey, we need to fix this. He went to people trying to fix this the correct way. They said nah. He said I. That was it.
No, look,
That was
Thanos
it.
said, I put the gauntlet on, laced up the black Nikes, bruh, and got to working.
Immediately.
I mean,
Black Air Force energy.
And what was crazy was the society he created. As much as people miss who they missed, they were in a better world. That's crazy, isn't it? No. People miss who they miss.
What you
but then
trying
you
to
got
say, bro?
Oh no.
Josh,
What
I
you trying to
feel,
say,
I feel
bro?
like that second comment might have been a stretch there, bro.
No.
What you trying to
No.
say,
In
bro?
terms of like, there was no shortage of food. People that were
Yeah,
like,
there was a shortage of people though.
Half the people were gone, bro.
Like people weren't hungry, but Meemaw went about 15 years too soon. Also, could a quick aside, bro? What if you were on a plane when he snapped and then he unsnapped like the 5 years later? Do you spawn back where the plane was, but the plane's not there because the plane didn't get? You just die again.
Oh,
Like, do you
hell
just
no.
come back to life looking? You come back to life at 30,000 feet and just instantly die
Hell
again.
no.
Like, this ain't Warzone. Not everyone got a parachute on. Like, you're just gonna
like,
hit
it's
the dirt.
not
No,
manifest.
bruh.
This dude need to
Okay.
calm
Also-
down.
See, that's
Also,
when
bro,
I
bro,
become the Avenger, bro.
Nah. Nate would spawn back in and be like, just my time, pull a wingsuit out of his backpack.
All right, Black Captain America,
Oh,
calm
hell
down
no.
now. Look at the hat he got on.
See,
too.
hey,
Matching
bro, they call me
colors.
the
That is
nigga
not
Falcon. You
America.
feel what I'm saying? Come on now.
No,
Nah, I would hate to be in a plane when Thanos snapped. Like, what if he snapped away your pilot?
yeah,
Even though
both
he
the
didn't
pilots.
snap you away and you were meant to live, you're fucked.
Yeah,
Like, you were meant
Bruh.
to live. He didn't snap you away, but he
Nah.
snapped your pilot away, bro. You
Josh,
die anyways.
on that Thanos analogy, man, that you were right about earlier about how Thanos got the thing mixed up because he went to the people like, hey, like we gotta fix this. They were like, nah, and he was like, okay, I'm gonna kill everybody instead of just taking the glove and make it double the resources,
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Like,
or
why
just
did
triple
you
the
look?
resources, or just
Why did he
quadruple
look
the
at it
resources.
in that way? Because he had the right mindset, but then he went about it so wrongly. Like, bro, that gauntlet literally can make people disappear. I bet it can make tons of things reappear. Did you see what he was doing to the folks? They were
Hey,
seeing,
don't
they were
ever
shooting
let this
guns.
man
He was
Josh get
turning
the
it into
Infinity
He
balloons.
literally
Gauntlet,
could have
bro.
just made a food planet and just been
Who?
like, this planet
Who,
is
me?
all food.
Don't
Like,
ever let Josh get the Infinity Gauntlet, because I know
do you think
hundreds
I'm
of
gonna
niggas
do?
would be
your
gone,
solutions
bro.
are gonna be
No,
whack,
no,
bro.
they're not.
Bro,
Josh
every
gonna be
nigga
like,
who done
"I'm
flamed him
fix the
would be gone, bro.
socioeconomic
Every
status in
bitch
the
that done
United
curved
States of
him would be
America."
gone, bro.
No,
Everyone would be
that nigga Don
demolished.
Terrio Hunden. Look, Don Terrio Hunden will walk up to Thanos and be like, "Do you know who I am?" Thanos, no. Well, I'm Don Terrio Hunden. And then Thanos would be like, "Oh yeah, I'm inevitable."
Oh, hell no.
Oh, boy.
Snap him gone, bro.
Eviscerated. Nah, bruh. Y'all goofy as hell.
I just like Josh. He had the right mindset. You know, the whole eradicate half of life in
just
the
run
universe.
about
That's what
It
I'm
was a
saying,
better
bro.
world. It was a better world without those people.
No, he had the right mindset. He just went about it wrong. He had the
I
right
don't know.
mindset and wanted to fix the world. Like,
Yeah, but
To be
it-
honest, I can't say that it was a better world. I can't.
That's what I'm saying.
And
But
the only reason
why?
why I
But
can't
why?
say that
dude, he
is
goofed
because
that world up
if
so
I'm
bad.
if I'm remembering correctly, I mean, in theory, physically, sure, but the people who were alive were as good as dead. They were
Some of
just
them.
dead.
Some of
They
them. Some
lost.
of them.
Most
They
of them.
No,
lost.
no, 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 no,
They
no.
lost.
Here's my
No,
here's an example. No, no,
everybody,
listen.
everybody lost something.
No,
Everybody lost
no,
something. Their
no,
life
not
was
not
done.
everyone.
How you suddenly say no when half the population died, bro? You gonna just act like grandmama didn't die in the snap, bro?
Listen. No. Listen. My thing is this. I agree. Look, I don't know why y'all are really trying to paint me as the bad guy, but go ahead and put this down. You're not Picasso. Chill out. Stop. But all I'm trying to say is you had people like Iron Man sit there and say, look, man, I am content with the life that I'm living. Listen, stop. Stop. Don't look at me.
You
Like
better
that, 'cause
salvage
he
whatever
said
you're
it
about to
on
say
camera.
because you're finna get
No,
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 demolished.
listen. No, listen.
We
I'm
about
not
to have
done.
we about to
I'm
have a
saying,
quick listen and saying my bad here in a minute.
Exactly.
Josh, you trying to give the
Wow.
viewers a
Bruh, that-
first-hand listen.
Nah, go ahead and finish
That's
what you gonna say,
that's
bro,
like
because I have an
asking-
immediate
That's
rebuttal.
like asking. That's
Dude.
like asking Elon Musk if he's content with his life. Of fucking
Yeah.
course he is. He's
No,
Elon
no, no, no.
Musk. He's fucking Iron
Nah.
See,
Man.
you're
He's
goofing
Iron
it,
Man.
Yeah,
Josh.
dude,
You're
I'm
goofing
not
it.
in it.
He said I can't risk what I have right now. Not
Bro,
I
you know what
prefer
the-
or am content with what I have right now. He just thought that if they went against Thanos, he would lose because he had no way to fix the situation. So what he was saying is, I can't go on a time traveling journey and risking my life to risk what little I have salvaged. Not, yeah, screw all my friends who died.
Mhm.
I got a kid now. All
No.
good.
The most
Cabin by
important
the
part of
lake.
that too
No,
is
they
before
de-
you even go,
they
Josh. When did he make that family that he had? It wasn't before. It was after, when he was forced to forget everything that he had built up to that point in order to have that family that he was content with. That shit didn't
Also,
happen
bruh.
before Thanos. He was forced into that. That's not what his
Also-
life had led up to begin with, bro.
Bro, the whole first half of the movie was just showing how the world was in desolation. I have no idea how you pulled this. Like, yeah, bro, the McDonald's was up and running. Everyone was in the line bumping good music. Like, no.
No, because
Everyone was
they show
Captain
like
the movie
like,
started with
what's his
Captain
name?
America throwing an intervention for people who
That's what I'm
missed their
saying,
family.
bro.
and
No,
being
wait,
like,
wait,
bro,
wait,
I miss
wait,
them too.
Obviously,
Hold on. Which movie? Hold on. Okay, maybe I started confusing the movie because no. Listen. No, because Hawkeye. Which one started with
That
Hawkeye?
nigga
and his
Hawkeye became
family and his
crazy,
girl-
bro.
and his girl
Family.
was
Hawkeye
out on-
became a murderer.
Family died.
He became
No,
a
no.
assassin,
Snapped
bro.
away. His whole family got snapped away, and he
No,
went started
dude, you know what it
stabbing
is?
dudes with a
No, yeah,
sword.
dude, you know what it is, bro?
You're tripping.
I was
That's
just
what it is.
confusing the movie. My
What do you
bad.
say?
Jackson was right, bro.
That's
Jackson was right.
crazy.
Because you're
That's
right.
crazy.
For some reason, I forgot about
That's
the fact that this man
crazy.
became the deadliest assassin alive. Because I just remembered him chilling,
No.
shooting with his little girl, bro.
Bro, that nigga's whole family got snapped, bro.
Josh remembered the movie in reverse. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about, bro. Everyone was happy. Iron Man's the only one who died in the snap. What's wrong with y'all?
No,
No,
bro.
bro.
I knew you were on some nonsense. I was
Nah,
like,
bro.
literally everybody on the fucking planet lost something important to them. What do you mean? I
Hey,
mean,
bro,
of course,
get your money
they're
up. Is
alive,
what Josh
so
meant.
they're going to move forward. Obviously, they're alive. They have no choice but to move forward. But it's like what he said. It's like when he asked them like, "Hey, let's go on this mission to get everybody back." It's not that they didn't want to; they were too scared to
Mhm.
lose the little that they had left after having everything taken by Thanos. That they were
No.
too afraid to lose the little to get back the lot that they had.
Them
They
niggas
did.
were
They
depressed,
wanted it
depressed.
back, and if there was a way they could have did it, they would have
listen.
did it.
Yeah, I'm
Viewers.
I'm passing you that super smoke pack, bro.
Before you put me in the dirt and make this the Four Sets podcast, I am sorry.
No, we
Yeah,
need
you
you here.
deserve that
We
one,
need you here
big
because
dog.
I
that take
literally, I don't,
beautifully explained our point earlier.
dude, I
Yeah, we
literally
just
don't
talked.
understand how I just confused the movie so much. I've seen it like 5 times. Like I don't know what's wrong with it.
Josh,
I don't
Josh,
know what's wrong.
Oh
Josh
my
started thinking it.
goodness!
Jeremy Renner, the guy who plays Hawkeye, Josh was thinking him in that movie Tag, where he's running around with his friends playing that. He's like, bro, the world was great, bro. They were just playing tag and everything. Like there was plenty of space. Like they all had money. Like what's wrong with you? Like
said,
Thanos
"Wait,
snapped,
wait,
everyone got
I
their
don't know
credit.
how I did that. Like I
will
just
say,
go ahead.
the listeners who need a PS5, Thanos might be your guy because it's a coin toss, and then half the PS5s are open again. You just got to go find somebody's house who got one. So if you're gonna bet your life on a coin toss, you might end up with a PS5. That's all I'm saying.
Nah, yeah, that's facts right
Yeah,
there.
you were smoking that super gas pack, my guy.
Look at its finest.
Hey, bro, it happens, bro. It's a late night, bro. We'll blame it on the late night. It's past 12.
Oh, blaming everyone but himself. Look at him. He did it again.
And that's the pride talking.
Here we go. And this is the problem with society now.
Oh no.
Nah, but yeah, I take that blame. And viewers, that was a beautiful skit put on by the 5 Cents
Oh,
podcast.
hell no. Please expose this nigga in the
That
comments
wasn't
of
fake.
all.
He wasn't
looks,
fake.
bro.
He thought he was right.
Josh
He
saw
thought
the
he
play
was
and went,
right.
oh, yeah.
He said,
He
"Skid,
really
huh?
thought he was right. He thought he had it. You had us in the first half.
You didn't have
Not gonna
nobody
lie.
in the first half, bro."
No, he was on it when he was saying, yeah, Thanos had the right intentions, just the wrong execution. Then he went, actually, and everyone just kind of.
He was
What
like,
about
but he was like, y'all
no,
can hate
dude.
me, but the world
That's
was
the
actually a better place after he snapped away half of the fucking people on it.
that's the same energy as those comments that'll be like objective, like statement you can't disagree with, and then but like it just shows the but.
Right, bro.
Uh,
Well, that was a wonderful segue. Thank you guys. But nah, what I was gonna say, so leading back into, the main let's take this shit out, bro. I'm kind of
All right, timeout. We're at 50. Timeout. We're at 55 minutes.
oh, cool! Look at that.
Off
Yeah,
first topic.
bet.
Off of Josh's bullshit.
No. That was actually great. That was great. That was animated. It was lively. That was a great topic.
Nah. I say that I did that intentionally, but I
We know
can't.
damn well you didn't, bro. We know
You
damn
messed the
well.
movies
Yeah.
up, but it ended with a beautiful take because it for real sounded you were like bro, you don't understand. Everyone was starving on Earth before Thanos killed everyone's mom or dad. One of them died.
I was like, oh my goodness, Josh, what?
Josh, you were like, I would trade
We
my
gotta
mother
erase
for
these
bread in
people,
a
bro.
heartbeat, bro. If you told me I'd never worry about food again, I'd trade my mother to that snap. Give me the gauntlet. That's what you sounded like.
You said all I gotta do is snap. Oh, I bet.
Give me that thing. What size is fit?
He gonna snap. He gonna be the one that get disappeared, bro.
Oh,
Nah, bro.
That's
If
how I
Josh,
thought it'd be.
if Josh got the gauntlet, there would be about 3 times as many women on the planet, and they'd all be them TikTok girls.
Just Hispanic females
He'd
with
snap-
fat
he'd
asses,
snap
bro.
and nothing would.
Bro.
He'd snap
he
and
would
nothing
snap
would change, but
away.
you'd look outside and be like, Nico and Nate would be like, there's so many. Write them all down.
Can't write them all down. Can't write them all down.
I need another book. Nico, quick, get the telescope. We have to observe this
Hey, y'all
phenomenon.
heard the observatory? I was just for the same, bro. They out here on the satellite talking about some warning.
Spinning them gears to like telescope.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
I'm gonna look at Spain real quick. I bet there's some baddies over there.
Hell nah,
Nigga said
bro.
a
They
word.
went on a worldwide journey to see us, bro. They said from Brooklyn to LA to Paris to England, bro.
It's just
Hell
Nate
nah.
on the bow of a ship doing this, getting ready to land on a country to find some ass.
Bro, the ship is gonna be the ASS Voyager.
Heck no. You said y'all looking through a
Hell
telescope, bro.
nah.
Y'all niggas looking at galactic
Oh.
booty, bro. Looking at
Bro.
astral ass cheeks, bro.
Bro, y'all finna be walking around talking about, so I know Josh touched Earth, but how about everything else?
Oh,
Bro, we
no,
out here
Come on, quickly.
we out here constructing ships to go visit Saturn talking about, I thought people weren't here. I take it back.
Oh,
No,
man.
that's different right there.
All right. So we're at 55 right now, right?
You're finna hit an hour right now.
There were some for sure TikTok clips in that little segment right
Dude,
there.
that is hilarious. Oh, go ahead. Go
So
ahead.
honestly, the next thing I was gonna ask was just like, do we have any like cringe or like funny stories from like middle school or high school that we want to share? Just for like, some funny shit. But I mean, it's already like 55 though, so I mean, it's up to y'all.
I got one if y'all want me to, but if not, it's all good.
I mean, it just
You,
depends.
man.
Do y'all want to keep going, or do y'all want to end it here? It really doesn't matter either way.
I feel like some people can do it. I just know if everyone does it, we'll hit 2 hours easily. So.
I'll throw a quick one on, and then y'all can go on if y'all want to. This
All
one's-
right, I'll just refrain. I feel like I've
Yeah,
talked
I'm
enough.
probably straight to be honest.
Okay.
I've talked a lot, but I have some of the goofiest stories.
Choose one, and I'll choose one. Josh, I got a good one.
Or no, Nico. I think Nico wants to go.
Oh,
I'll
Nico,
let
you got it?
You and Nico
Yeah, I
got
have
it.
one.
No, y'all two go then. Y'all two. I've talked plenty.
I've talked too much. Did you see what I did?
All right. Well, all three go. Just keep
Hey,
it
here,
short.
redeem yourself, bro.
Yeah. Redeem
All
yourself.
right. Let me know.
Go ahead, Nico.
Let me know. Let me know when we're good, bro.
You go whenever, bro.
Oh, really? Okay, bro.
Yeah, I'm chilling. I already wrote the
Alright,
timestamp, so y'all get whenever.
Okay, well, shoot. Well, throwing it back to the throwback segment of the podcast. The next thing I wanted to ask you guys was, do any of y'all got like some funny stories from middle school years, high school years? Because I feel like I got hella, and there's like some cringeworthy moments in my life that are like funny as hell now that I look back on it. But if y'all don't got none, it's cool. But I was just curious to see what y'all got. I feel like it'd be pretty funny.
Josh, you want to go?
I got some.
Take
Which
it.
if y'all end up liking some of the stories you heard, because I know we all have just a ton. We are some goofy dudes, and we've been in some interesting situations. So we could probably even dedicate a whole episode to y'all
for
just
sure.
hearing about us, learning about our background, and the tragic events that have occurred
Not
due to
tragic
us.
events.
So- but for my little tidbit, so they've heard the story. I think everyone here should have heard the story, but this is for you guys, I guess, the viewers. So we're gonna rewind back to freshman year high school. So freshman year high school. First, I'm gonna give you a picture of how I looked a little bit. So scrawny kid, big forehead. Just walking around the hallways,
Some
chilling.
things never change.
But so I was in freshman seminar, and there was this girl that I thought was attractive in my class, right? We ended up sitting right beside each other, so learn her name, slowly becoming friends. So those are the days Kick was still popular. So we still had like the chats from middle school, and we had like an all guys chat, and everybody's talking about all these dubs. They were taking over the summer, and like happening once they got into freshman year of high school, because people we're always trying to one up each other for some reason. So beforehand, I had told one of my friends, dude, yeah, there's this girl that I like, and like she's pretty cool, yada yada yada. But then somehow this man mentioned me into the Kick chat, and he was like, Josh got a girlfriend. And so what I should have done was immediately, do everything in my power to just cancel this and just be like, no, bro, your trip is stopped, bro. Like why are you even doing all that? But I didn't do that. That's where I messed up. So this story continues, and like, so this man was like, they started saying like, prove it, because they're like, no way, no way. So then they take on the liberty to go on Facebook, right? And they message her on Facebook Messenger. And they pulled up some of the goofiest pictures of me that they have. I'm talking about from 5th grade. They sent them to her, and they're like, do you know this guy?
Those aren't friends, bro. Hell no.
Those were
They are
those weren't even
foes.
those were not even
They-
snakes in the grass, bro. That was just pure opposition. They didn't
They
even
are
hide it.
foes, bro.
So they sent them to her, right?
Whatever chance you had, they destroyed it, bro.
I know.
Bro.
So they sent them to her, right? And she responds with the appropriate answer, I guess. And she was like, like I barely even know this guy. So then that happens, right? So then, you got people in the chat calling me a liar, something that I didn't even start. My friend really just was trying to be funny and do me dirty. But then I start getting messaged by her on Facebook Messenger, because like we're like Facebook friends. And then she was like, hey, like, did you say that, me and you go out? So then I am trying to figure out a way to like explain myself, because there's really no proper way to explain how I sold on this situation. So like I ended up saying, nah, friends trying to do a little prank, yada yada yada. I typed up like a couple paragraphs, and
Damn.
yeah, so the situation like proceeds. I'm getting baked in the chat and stuff, but then we get back to school, and like I could just see like it's over. I'm like, damn. I'm talking about like throughout the 4 years in high school, like I couldn't even call us acquaintances after that. Like it destroyed all relationship that was humanly, physically, emotionally possible. And I was just like,
Hey,
wow,
she
bro.
that, bro.
Yeah. I disappeared from her existence, which understandably, yeah, that was different. And what was crazy to me is like even like our friend groups were in a mesh, and I was just like, bruh, like literally, this could have played out so beautifully if I just handled this situation the right way. But I tried to do some nonsense. It backfired completely. But that's just a quick funny story into my high school life.
His trauma.
And for me, it's gonna be the 8th grade years. It's gonna be my 8th grade years. So a little bit of a background on me. I was also pretty ugly in middle school. You know, I was
You threw also in there like Josh described himself as ugly, bro.
Exactly.
You're just speaking your own mind, bro. You didn't Josh didn't say ugly. You're just speaking for yourself.
Bro, I just described my archetype.
was
You described
ugly.
my archetype ugly, bro. That's what you really trying to say.
Nico came in like, so I'm sure y'all heard how ugly Josh was. He was an ugly kid. Anyway, I wasn't too good either.
hold up,
bro.
Man.
holy shit, bro! I didn't even mean it like that. But
Your ugly was a different type, so we're not even gonna.
Funny thing is, bro, when he said it, I just like in my head, I just agreed with it so naturally, bro. Like I didn't even.
Yeah, he was ugly. Yeah, he was ugly.
If Jackson didn't say anything, I would not have questioned anything he said, bro. I was just like, well,
Sorry, Josh. You getting done disgusting in this video call.
Again, my whole life.
I've been ugly my whole life. Ain't nothing changed.
man,
Hell no. We can't do him like that, bro.
Go ahead, bro.
I mean, I don't know, bro. Just looking back on it, that's funny as hell. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I was ugly as shit, and I mean, Josh, you kind of ugly too, bro.
You could have done so much better without even putting that in there, bro.
But no, for real though. But like, I was pretty ugly. You know what I'm saying? Girls didn't talk to me, type shit. I was a lame. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I was a cool lame. But I don't know, bro. I was like kind of low key and stuff. So every time like a girl would be nice to me or like show some slight interest, I would just be like, oh shit, like I gotta get on that, like, cause it was like I was so deprived. So I was like, bro. So like there was this one girl, man. And I'm not gonna say no names, you know what I'm saying? For one day she gonna watch it and like make my ass. But dude, so there's this one girl and like she was my friend's cousin. And so I was just talking to her, you know, we're just being good friends and stuff. And I don't know, one day I just get this idea that she likes me. And so like she has this friend and like they come up with this nickname for some dude. I thought it was me, but it wasn't. But like it was the nickname was like Pinche Weenie or some shit like that. I don't know. But like hey, I don't know. Jackson, I know you speak Spanish, bro. But I don't know.
That's a good thing, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
That nickname is not good.
You didn't want that nickname, bro.
Do you know what pinche means?
No, what does it mean, bro?
It's a very negative thing. No. Pinche is like a beautiful term that's like the F word out of frustration. Pinche is not a good thing.
Well,
what does that nickname mean?
Pinche Wiener? Is that what you said? Pinche Wiener?
Pinche Weenie.
Wait, Pinche Ween? Like W-E-E-N?
No, like Weenie Head General.
Oh, they were calling you an effing weenie, pretty much.
Well, it wasn't for me. So whoever they were talking about.
That nickname was funny, though.
It was fucking weenie, but I don't know. So I thought this nickname was for me and shit. So I'm just like, oh shit. So like I had just created a Facebook not too long ago. So I'm like, hey, like I got a Facebook. Do you want to be friends? So she's like, yeah. So we're friends on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? So we start talking this shit. And so I'm like, so who do you like? And she's like, nobody. And I was like, come on. I was like, you like somebody. And she was like, no, I don't like nobody. And I was like, I know you're lying. She was like, okay, fine. She's like, I like somebody. I'm like, all right, who is it? And she's like, I don't want to tell you. I'm like, is it this guy? And I literally named every guy in the class, bro. and then I included myself. I made sure to include myself in the middle so it wasn't obvious, you know what I'm saying? That. But I don't know, bro. So look, pretty much it got to the point where it got so bad, bro. And like she stopped talking to me. And I never understood why. But dude, like looking back on it, like I looked back at these messages like a couple months ago just to like be like, damn, what was I like back then? And bro, I was in disbelief. I'm so shocked at myself, bro. I was a little freak, bro. Shit was bad, bro. It's just so bad. I'm not like this anymore, I promise. But I'm just saying, like back then, bro, I had no idea what I was doing.
I know it hurt a little bit when you said your name. She was like, no, you were like,
No.
I was like, no.
But you carried on like a king, and you still named another guy afterwards. You didn't just leave the chat.
I was like, I made it this far. I have to keep going, bro. Maybe she'll change her mind, bro.
Maybe if I name a bunch of ugly dudes, she'll go back and be like, eh.
Nah, bro. I was pretty ugly.
Nah, I'm sure you weren't, Nico. You too cute to have been ugly,
like
bro.
That, bro.
You too cute to have been ugly.
Hey, chill
I
out.
don't believe it.
Chill out.
Zay don't want to be in the podcast anymore.
He gonna fully pop out, bro. Nah, man. But that's all I got. That's one of the very many stories I have of young Nico. So
I got a brief one if you all still got time. Otherwise, we can wrap up.
you're good. You're good,
so
man.
This one wasn't like my bad, but it was also kind of my bad. Like I probably should have done a little more than I did. So this is junior year of high school, and I will attribute to that I was a very different person junior year of high school. I wasn't nearly as confident. I was still kind of reserved. I was just kind of starting to. Oh, we just lost Josh.
That just disappeared.
That no snap, bro.
He had to go wipe a couple tears away from the ugly comments. Get back in the podcast.
If it starts getting consolation, you're fresh now.
My stuff just like super froze.
Yeah, are you back?
Yeah, I don't know
Okay.
how long that happened for, but
Like 2 seconds.
It was like 2 seconds.
But yeah, so junior year in high school, I'm gonna like not use names like Nico said. I'll probably just make ones up for the sake of the story. But this is AP Lit or AP language. You know, super nerdy class, just a bunch of people trying to get an AP credit. So for the most part, everyone takes the class pretty seriously. You know, no big deal. And so we were coming up on the section where we were talking about writing a personal narrative essay. And for slight background, this class was split evenly down the middle. Like there were desks on either side and a middle aisle, so the teacher could go walk in the middle. On one side sat pretty much everyone who I would assume would vote Democratic, and on the other side sat a bunch of goobers like me, and then a couple of people who, like, I think probably would have voted for Trump 6 or 7 times. Like, we had a very diverse political opinion in the class, to the degree that we had one person in the class who I think it was that year actually was in the process of transitioning, which, you know, full props to them. Like, awesome stuff. The people who sat next to me weren't very fond of that, and they like to make it very clear in class. So for the better part of a year, there was some really bad tension, like some very awful remarks, usually from the people who sat next to me, and they like to use me as like their scapegoat. Like I would sit there, and they'd be like, "Bro, tell them," and I'm like, bro, like I can't say anything to this. But we get to the point of the narrative essay, and this is where I fumbled a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. So there was a kid in the class. He's a friend of mine, awesome guy. He had a bit of a stammer, and he sat on the left side. And so one of the guys who sat on the right side, he's just a goober, absolute goober. He decides that his personal vendetta with everyone who has a political agenda that's different than his is that he is going to take it out on them in this narrative essay. So he types up like an 8-page blistering essay that's meant to depict a UN meeting where he names everybody out as a country and then essentially attacks them for their personal faults. Now, he selected me as his peer reviewer. And on page 3, when I saw about 11 or so sentences of stammers when he was mimicking the kid on the other side, I just shot my hand up. I was like, bro, Mr. Grimes, come here, please. Like, this cannot fly. So I start Xing pages and everything. I'm handing him the paper. I'm like, please do not let him present this because he will go up there and read it from memory. Like, he's too smart. He's actually a smart guy. He's going to do something petty. Mr. Grimes doesn't believe me. He's like, nah, I'll just like make him tone it down really hard, but he can still get his opinion out. Mr. Grimes was on the left side as well, and he was like, okay. I was like, all right, whatever. And I didn't say anything from that point on. My old phone still has this recording, like on the voice memos, because I set it on my desk just to make sure I heard what he was gonna say and could listen to it again. This dude went up in front of a class for 23 minutes and did nothing but talk trash to the face of half the people in this class. And I mean, it was not like normal stuff. And the issue was you had to cite your reviewer on the paper. So he starts citing me for things that I did not say. For example, the kid with the stammer, he's from Chile. He's very proud of being from Chile. This man made him the Cuban ambassador to piss him off and had an entire page of stammering that he had printed from an old draft of the essay he did not turn in. It was the most uncomfortable class I've ever been in my life. So afterwards, like this part of the story isn't funny. This just hurts. Like this part was just awful. So after the class, I had to go to a meeting for the debate club, right? Because my friends wanted me to come with them, and it's just these people. It's just these people. And I got called to explain myself in front of an entire class. And I can speak, I can flow, I can get myself out of a situation. Dog, that is the only time where I've ever stood in front of people and just I was just like, bro, I don't have anything, bro. So I was getting ripped so hard for like 2 weeks while I was trying to clear this up with people individually. And just like you said, Zay, I mean, the only reason I'm still cool with these people is because I just went, my bad, bro. I didn't. I tried to stop them. I didn't do enough. Clearly, like that's on me. I should have said something more. I should have done more. But bro, I mean, I wish I could play that recording for y'all right now. It was some of the worst slander I've ever heard in my life. I've never heard people be that disrespectful to people, like to somebody's face. I gotta give it to him though. It wasn't no behind the back stuff. I mean, he was looking him in the eyes while he was saying it.
I probably would have hit him, bro.
Dude,
Yeah,
Honestly.
I was
probably
gonna say, I
would
don't
hit
know what high school you went to, but
That's
whenever
tough.
that
oh,
happened,
Bro and I,
hands were thrown on sight.
there was
Yeah,
Anybody said anything disrespectful that made anybody feel some type of way, it was hands right then and there. There
And
was
we
none of
just
that.
talked about
There
this.
weren't no there was no essays. There was just like,
this
what
is what
did
I
you
was
just?
saying. This
It
is
was like, what did you just say? Smack, smack,
Mink, mink,
smack.
mink, mink,
And they just
mink.
be throwing hands,
Zay,
bro.
bro, I don't know what high school you went to, but if you're telling me in a Socratic seminar, when the whole class is listening to somebody get their essay, that some dude's go stand up out of his desk and
no,
whoop
that's
the guy
after
right
class.
upside the mouth.
No,
That happened?
no.
That's after
What
class,
I'm
bro.
saying is that like
Oh, you
we
talking about
didn't
like
even have classes that did that. What would happen is
what
I'd be
y'all
walking.
do, bro?
Look, bro, I would
Did
be
y'all just
walking through
fight? Did you
class.
have like
I would be
taekwondo second
walking through
period,
It was a fight
class.
karate
club.
third?
I would be on my way to class during periods, headphones in. I'd look up and see two people arguing. I'd keep walking. I'd look up 3 seconds later, and they are just throwing hands.
Yeah.
And then everybody's crowding around them. And then I'd look and be like, damn, I'm going to be late to class. And keep walking, bro.
To be
Brentwood,
honest,
bro, we had one fight. It was really funny, but our version of that was we had the band couples making out in front of the doors. That was pretty much what
dude,
we had
that was
instead of
there
fights.
too.
No,
It
it
was
was no,
everywhere, bro.
it was more than that, bro. You'd walk in the stairwell and get scarred, bro. You try to go up the stairs and be scarred for life.
But like,
Hey, no hate on band people. I was in the band in middle
Especially,
school for
hey,
3 years. I played
don't
trumpet.
you try to go upstairs after school, you know, because we had to stay after school for like athletics and stuff. So
Yeah,
we'd be there after school and like we'd be like having to run around the school and exercise around the school, or we just have to go get something from our coach's room or something. We go up them stairwells and be like, that's just an awkward eye connection, bro. You're like, oh shit. and you just keep going. Like at that point, it's too late.
Yeah, you're
You
already
just
in the
keep
stairwell.
going.
You might as well go get where you're
Well,
going.
it's like, oh, well, that's awkward. But I gotta go.
Man, crazy ass stories, bro. But nah, like I think that's it for the stories. I don't think Zay and Nate got one for you guys today, but who knows? Maybe in the future y'all can get a little taste of some of their funny background. But I think it's an hour or something, so I think we gotta go ahead and cut this episode short, guys. But thank y'all for tuning into the 5 Cents Podcast this week. It's always a pleasure to provide you with some amazing content. But you guys have anything you want to say to the viewers before we head off?
Hey, once again, thank y'all for listening. And if you hear anything, that I said, you want to talk about it, you know what I'm saying? Drop it in the comments. I'm open to conversation. I'm a very open-minded, respectful guy. Unless you try to bake me, I'm pretty sure I've said this plenty of times. Unless you try to bake me, then then it's smoke. But other than that, if you're just trying to, you have a question or anything I said, you want to talk about it, elaborate further. Maybe have some topics that you want to hear us talk about, drop those in the comments. Subscribe. Thank y'all for listening. And y'all be good, man.
Yeah, and I feel like what Zay said can really go for anyone in terms of like the questions or comments or statements. And like, I mean, we're all more than happy to reply to it. Once again, like they've been saying, thank you, thank you, thank you. We've been receiving a following on TikTok. You guys are enjoying the clips and people are hearing about us do that. So, I mean, stay tuned. We're always posting on there and you might catch a little segment that you like, and it'll help you want to tune into the next episode. So we appreciate you guys.
Yeah, thanks so much for listening. If you do need someone to bake on the podcast, come for me. I'm really not good at baking people back, so you got an easy target. But thank y'all so much for listening. Thank you so much for listening. Like Josh said, appreciate all the views on all the platforms, and it's really fun making this. Like this really is. Maybe they don't think it's fun at all, but I really enjoy getting to talk with these guys, and you guys giving us the excuse by listening is just a great time. So thank you very much.
Man, just sum up everything everybody said, man. Appreciate y'all for listening. We'll keep on trying to come out with content semi-consistently. Every once in a while, at least give me on some clips to watch. So follow us on everything. Keep up with the 5 Cents guys, and follow us on for the ride. So I appreciate y'all.
Yep. You all are definitely appreciated. And use them comments, likes, subscribe, whatever you got to do. Tell your friends, tell your family. We'll always be but
Don't tell your family. Do not tell your family.
Don't tell
Do
us.
not ever, if you show this to a parental figure of any kind, that is entirely on you, and expect repercussions.
Yeah.
Yep. That's on you. Remember that. You gotta solve it yourself.
Don't come in these comments talking about some this on your no, it's your bad, bro.
Yep. But on that note, y'all take it easy.
Peace.
All right, y'all. Peace.
And see.